I've got a golden ticket.
That's a winner!
And good Thursday evening, everybody. Clemson John here with Damian, and David will be joining us here in a moment. It's a good Thursday evening because we've got week one of college football going.
Yes, very excited
Absolutely.
about that. We actually have, not that great a slate of games tonight, but there's games. That's the important thing.
Yep,
So-
absolutely. Yep, we had a little taste, a little appetizer last week. We ordered a few appetizers on the menu with Navy, Notre Dame.
Wow.
Notre Dame. Navy just didn't show up. That was a
Notre
pitiful performance.
Dame was just so much bigger and stronger. They just flew
They
right
had their
through
way
them.
with them. It was a
Yep.
pitiful performance by Navy, though.
Yeah.
Just couldn't move the ball, couldn't stop them. I mean, just overwhelmed them.
Notre Dame was impressive last week. I'm not sure if that was more how promisingly good they could possibly be or how completely inept Navy was.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you could see the first series of the game, you could see that Notre Dame was going to have their way with them offensively. Navy was not going to stop them. And it was, like I said, it wasn't much fun to watch. There wasn't really anything good last week to watch. It was, the USC game, there was some points scored in it, but that was a blowout.
Yeah, I hit San Jose State overs on that one.
Yeah, San Jose State backdoor covers the end of the game. But it was
Yeah, I liked the total points rather than the cover. So I did over 7.5 first half.
it was
and then 17.5 for the game.
Yep.
Beautiful. Both covers. And San Jose State, like you said, backdoor covers. USC scores 56. So I think the public was on the over.
The public was on USC and the over,
And
so they split out. I
didn't like USC covering that much. I did like that over, though. You didn't even have to sweat it. I mean, 56-28 final, so 84 points in an opener. Huge points there. UTEP Jacksonville State. Rich Rodriguez back in the limelight at Jacksonville State. So 17-14 upset win over UTEP. So Rich Rod getting his first win. Very strange kind of lower tier game with UMass and New Mexico State. Over under 45. They score 71.
And if you look at that game, I believe it was 17-10 going in the fourth quarter.
It was 17-7.
17-7 going into the fourth quarter.
No, hold on a second. Let me make sure.
I know it was very low scoring through three quarters, and then one team scored like 28.
17. It was 10. 13-10.
13-10.
Right
yeah, it was 13-10 going into the fourth quarter, and then each team scored like 4 touchdowns. It was nuts.
Former Clemson quarterback at UMass, going back home to the Northeast where he's from, Tyson Fomanchu, added a little bit of athleticism to the game, had a quick touchdown in the first quarter. So UMass looking to maybe win more than 2 games this year. They have been awful.
It was the first time they won a season opening game in like 30 years.
Wow.
UMass
has been at the bottom floor mat of college football for the better part of 20 or 30 years.
They weren't a good FCS team, and they still went up to Division I, and
went on the road.
They've not been good in the FBS, but went on the road down to, I believe it's Las Cruces, I believe is where New Mexico State is. And
the former Minnesota head coach Jerry Keel, who had the seizure on the sidelines a couple years ago, if y'all remember that. He's at New Mexico State now. So UMass with an impressive victory there. San Diego State taking care of business against Ohio. I'm going to be on a lot of unders with San Diego State games this year. San Diego State loves to run the ball, so they take care of business 20-13 there. La Tech FIU. This was a big upset. FIU favored by 11. La Tech taking care of business. Didn't need the points. Winning the game 22-17. And then a strange kind of game in Nashville with Vandy and Hawaii, 35-28.
Yeah, if you remember last week, I told you I was going to bet Vanderbilt in the second half because I figured Hawaii would die in the heat, and I had looked up everything to do with the weather. Well, the cold front got there about 6 hours earlier than it was supposed to.
Yeah.
The game was delayed by rain by 2 hours. I talked to Dave before the game even went. I said, Dave, I'm no shot in that bet now. The temperature dropped 20 degrees, the humidity. I said, I have no shot in that. Hawaii's not going to be dead in the second half like I assumed. I said, if I could get out of that right now, I would. And I believe the second half ended up tied at 14. But yeah, it was. Yeah. I knew I was toast when that happened.
14-14 in the second half there. So, yeah, it went about as I thought. Though San Jose State put up some points. I thought Chevin Cordero, their quarterback, transfer from Hawaii, actually, was going to put up some numbers, and he did. Preseason talks of Mountain West Player of the Year for Chevin Cordero, and Navy Notre Dame. I thought 21 points was a lot. It was, but Navy just didn't show up and just got handled every way in that game. So, yeah, a little appetizer for week 0.
Yeah, Sam Hartman looked very, very impressive.
I got to give it to him.
You're gonna get a lot of Sam Hartman for Heisman here in the next couple of weeks, I'm sure. But we'll see what happens with Notre Dame. I don't remember if they play Michigan this year or not, but we'll see what. I don't believe they do. But we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, we're going to find out a lot about Notre Dame. They got a brutal schedule, of course. They got a cupcake Saturday. They play Tennessee State, cupcake. And then they go to NC State. They got Central Michigan at home. And then on September the 23rd, they got Ohio State in South Bend.
That's the monster they were playing. I was trying to remember. I knew they played somebody that was good.
Yeah. Ohio State at South Bend. That may be game of the week. It's going to be that, or maybe Clemson, Florida State. One of those two games will definitely be game of the week for sure.
Well, you got this weekend. The game of the weekend is definitely Florida State and LSU. LSU's gotten a couple of bad news here in the last few days.
Absolutely.
Their stud defensive lineman got suspended for the first game, and their running back, I believe it was, got suspended, or he's injured and he's out the first game. So they're going to go down to the game is in Orlando, I believe you said,
to
play Florida State, and they're down 2 of their studs and I still think they're going to win the game. But anyway, I'd feel a lot better if, especially the defensive lineman, I think, is a bigger loss than the.
This pass rusher that LSU has is, I'd say, one of the best in the country. So
yeah, he's
a killer to lose him.
He's a first-round NFL player.
Yeah, it's a killer to lose somebody like that, of course. As far as Florida State, I just don't. With Jordan Travis, I got to see it to believe it, Damien. I seen it last year. He choked in a bunch of key spots, made just terrible plays, threw an interception against NC State and lost the game in the red zone. I got to see it to believe it with Jordan Travis, with the quarterback for Florida State.
Well, I mean, that's your favorite game with 2 least favorite quarterbacks between him and Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
So somebody will shine in that game.
Yeah, they both can't lose.
Yeah.
It's the old adage, somebody's got to win this game.
Exactly.
So, yeah, we'll see. I got to see it to believe it. But after the Ohio State game, Notre Dame goes to Duke. There'll be double-digit favorites there, maybe. That's on September 30th. They go to Louisville. And then a good game, USC coming to South Bend. So that'll be an interesting game. USC will try to go as fast as they can. Notre Dame maybe not try to go as fast as they can, of course. But with Sam Hartman, they're going to try to move the ball, of course. It's not going to be your same Notre Dame, 3 yards in a cloud of dust handed to the running back every time.
Well, if the USC San Jose State game's any indication, USC still struggling defensively.
Yep. They're struggling on the back end of that defense, too.
Notre Dame's, they play a difficult enough schedule that if Hartman has a great year, he could definitely win the Heisman, and they'll be a threat. They got 2 of their 3 toughest games at home, with Ohio State and USC, and then they got that murderous game going to Clemson. So, Notre Dame's, they looked pretty legit week 1. We'll see how that Ohio State game will tell you a lot in week 5.
Yeah, you're not going to find out anything. Well, they do go to NC State. We'll find out a little more there. But then they got Central Michigan, and then the Ohio State game's at the 23rd. So maybe on September 9th we find a little bit out. Early start on the road. An 11 a.m. start for Notre Dame at NC State. So maybe something to look out for there. And then Notre Dame ends the year with at home against Pitt, at home against Wake Forest, and then at home against Stanford. And then the Clemson game, obviously, November the 4th. So that'll be after Pitt. So it's Pitt, on the road against Clemson, and then at home against Wake and Stanford. They've got the hardest schedule in the country.
Yeah, Pitt has played Notre Dame very well, pulled a couple of upsets against them here in the recent past. Pitt's a pretty veteran team. You know, they got one of the best defensive linemen in the country. They are replacing a lot of players on the defensive line, but they've developed
Still
a
little
lot of
shaky at
defensive
quarterback.
players. Well, they got the kid from Boston College.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about the transfer.
So they got the transfer.
What was his name? Jerkovich.
Jerkovich.
Yeah. He, from Notre Dame to Boston College to Pitt.
Yeah.
Welcome to 2023 college football.
Yeah, they got it.
The transfers have awoken.
They returned most of their offensive line, a couple of good running backs, a couple of good receivers. You know, Pitt will be a dangerous team for Notre Dame. And it's really kind of a bad spot for Notre Dame too, because they're playing Pitt right before the Clemson game. So you know that could be a difficult game for Notre Dame, because I fully expect Clemson to walk into that game at worst 8-1 and maybe 9-0. So, I mean, that could be a sandwich game, but Notre Dame gets stuck before they play Clemson.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. That's going to be a big game, obviously.
Yeah.
Clemson's two big home games are Florida State on the 23rd, and then November 4th against Notre Dame. Absolutely. But yeah, we've kicked off a few games already. Wake Forest, Elon. I put a little bit on that Wake Forest Elon game. Elon played Vanderbilt last year, first game of the year, and Elon only lost by about 10 points or something.
I would probably have leaned to taking Elon in that game as well.
I took the 31 and a half, guys.
Wake Forest replacing their quarterback.
Yeah.
They're actually replaced quite a bit on their team. So, you know, like I said, it's their first game. It's an in-state school, a little bit of a rivalry. Elon's in North Carolina.
Elon Phoenix is their name. The Phoenix of Elon. But yeah, took the 31 and a half points there with the Elon. And UCF Kent State, I am all over UCF tonight. I got them at minus 34.5. It has changed to 35.5. Up a full point. All the UCF money coming in, but I'm all over them. Kent State returns 0 starters on offense, 0 starters on defense, and they've got a new head coach. That's a recipe for disaster
I can't believe
against UCF and Gus Malzahn, who's opening up in the Big 12 wanting to make a statement.
I can't believe they returned no starters. I don't think I've ever heard of a team returning no starters.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I'd almost have to think that's got to be an error of some sort. It kind of makes me want to look it up just to find out.
Yeah, I mean, we'll double check that, but yeah, that's what it looked like. They had 0 starters. I remember this is the same. I remember Kent State from about 4 years ago. They had a game, one of the cupcake games that Clemson had was Kent State. They were coming down to Clemson to play, and they released a post on the Kent State Athletic Twitter saying, if anybody wants to make the trip to Clemson to play, we need offensive linemen. So, yeah, that's not something you want to make a statement on social media about a week before you fly down to play a big game like Clemson.
UCF has already scored.
Yeah, 7-0 UCF, 7-0 Wake. Pretty sleepy game here with Georgia State and Rhode Island. Have no clue what's going on with that game. St. Francis against Western Michigan. And then we got the 6:30 kickoff with NC State UConn. That'll be an interesting game, Damian. Jim Mora coaching UConn now. They're not the same old terrible UConn team we've come to know.
Yeah, it seems like 14.5 seems like a big line in that game.
It's UConn's bringing in a transfer quarterback, supposed to have some athleticism. I'm on the points tonight. I did move it to 20, play it a little safe there, but it's 14.5. I'd take the 14.5 if I had to, but I did move it. The UConn head coach Jim Moore is starting transfer quarterback, and Joe Fagnano is his name. And you can look at this game and say 42-10 last year. UConn played NC State at NC State, and it was 42-10. UConn's top 3 running backs were out. UConn's top 3 receivers were out, and their quarterback was out on the road. Yeah, so you can't make anything off of that. They're fully healthy now. But, yeah, that's why it's important to see how you won, not just if you won the game. So NC State won that game because of, injuries on the other side. 3 running backs, 3 receivers, and a quarterback out. This year, 17 starters returned for UConn. 17 starters. And they upgrade the quarterback with the transfer. So, we're going to be all over UConn tonight. So I like the points there. Florida, Utah. What's going on with Cam Rising?
Oh, that line's jumping back up surprisingly to me.
The Florida Utah line?
The Florida line's back. It was down to 3.5. It's now back to 5.5. But I could have swore I just saw that Cam Rising is not playing.
Let me see if I can get an update on Cam Rising here.
Yeah, this one's stunning me.
Yesterday he was not expected to play. This is 2 hours ago. Let's see what this says.
I will tip the under in this game. Florida in the Utah.
Yeah, that's been an interesting.
In the
total.
Utah-Florida game, I did play the under in the game. If Rising doesn't play, I really like the under in the game. But I don't expect there to be a ton of points in this game anyway. Florida's got some quality talent defensively, but Utah returns most of their starters. They're a favorite in the Pac-10 or Pac-12 this season for a reason. They're basically the second favorite behind USC. So, I went ahead and took the under in the game just based on the fact that it looked like from what I was seeing that he wasn't going to play. So, and I'm pretty sure that's what I heard right before the game started was that he wasn't dressing for the game. But like I said, I was kind of stunned that the line.
Yeah, 5.5 is what I see now.
Yeah, the line dropped from 3.5 to 5.5 afterwards. So that just kind of stunned me.
Yeah. 44.5 on the total is what I see. What do you see on the total?
That's what I got it at, was 44.5.
Yeah, looks like most of the money, it's kind of split. 59% of the bets are on Utah. 52% of the money is on Utah. So
okay, well, as far as Kent State, John's half right. They return nobody from offense.
Oh, they do bring defense back?
They bring 5 starters back from their defense, but their defense wasn't that good last year.
0 starters on offense.
0 starters on offense.
Wow.
So they did get actually, they brought some players from some big schools in on defense. 2 guys from Missouri, 1 from Iowa, 1 from Maryland, 1 from Virginia Tech, 1 for West Virginia. But, obviously it's going to take time for them to gel defensively. But even just returning just 5 starters is rather kind of stunning. I mean, you would.
Yeah.
I mean, even that's like incredibly low.
You talked about that total Utah, Florida total. You took the under. This thing opened on way back on May the 8th. Okay, is when the Utah total opened. 60.5 on May the 8th. And it's all the way down to 44.5 today. It was 54 May the 24th, and then in July it kind of regulated to 50. And now we are at 44.5. Let's see here. I think what is going to play a lot here? What's the forecast here for Utah. It said 20% chance of rain. They were expecting big wind gusts is what it was. That's supposed to bring the total down to a lot. Utah hadn't lost in Rice-Eccles Stadium in years, though. 2019.
They're a very good home team.
2019 was the last time that they've lost at Rice-Eccles. I don't like Graham Mertz at quarterback for the Gators, though. Just not sold on him. I'm going to have to see it to believe it.
Well, his passing yards weren't very high, actually, for the game. They were 185.5, which isn't very high.
Yeah, I just wasn't real sold on Graham Mertz at Wisconsin. When's the last time outside of Russell Wilson you've seen a successful Wisconsin quarterback anyway?
Yeah.
I can't think of it.
I'm not a Graham Mertz guy either. I thought he was the Achilles heel on that offense a couple of years ago when they were actually pretty decent offensively. He couldn't throw the ball. So, and like I said, Florida's they don't have very much. They didn't recruit very well this year. They don't return a ton of talent either. It's just, I mean, if Rising was playing, I was going to bet Utah. I don't know much about the backup quarterback for Utah, so I couldn't stomach myself to betting it. And as one with you, I believe Utah has a huge home field advantage in this game, being at the altitude but if the wind is what they're saying it is, I actually think it probably plays more to Florida's advantage. I mean, Florida's probably going to have a little more speed.
It's at night, but 74 degrees, 25-mile-an-hour winds.
That's enough to affect you throwing the ball for anything more than a 10-yard pass.
That's Utah Ute football right there. Windy, defense, run the ball.
Yeah.
Yep, makes it even more attractive. So, yeah, I might have to put a little something on that Utah game. I don't think I put them on the ticket for David I made here. Let's see here.
Ticket I made
took the under 49.5, moved it up, Damian.
The ticket I made for Dave last week won. I wish I would have played it myself.
Yeah.
He won his parlay last week with my picks, and my dumbass didn't play it with him. Whoops.
How often does that happen? We make a ticket for our buddy David, and it ends up winning. Ours ends up losing. Like, it's just incredible. What was the no runs in the first bet we had, Damian?
Yeah, that was a loser.
Oh, no. Marlins National.
Yeah, Marlins hit a 2-out double to bring in a run.
Oh, the 2-out double.
Oh, well.
Jeez.
So
the dreaded 2-out double. Braves and Dodgers click a big series this weekend. Spencer Strider going tonight. I took a little 9.5 on that. Yeah. I can't find any info on Cam Rising starting tonight or not.
So, I mean,
listed as doubtful still.
Yeah. I saw him. He was out on the field, but he was not in uniform when I was looking at it. They just showed him a picture, and I'm pretty sure I heard him say that he was unlikely to play. So, but yeah, I mean, that, like I said, that line it was 6.5 last week, and it dropped all the way to 3.5 this morning, and then it's back up to 6 right now. So
yeah,
I don't. If Rising's playing, I don't even really like my under very much anymore either. But with the weather forecast the way that it is, it's going to make it very difficult to throw any pass of any length in that wind.
Yeah, Cam Rising's kind of a game changer, man. I would like Utah long term and like futures of maybe an outside shot at making a playoff if Cam Rising didn't play quarterback like a linebacker and get hurt all the time. I don't put much faith in him being healthy, man. I like Rising. I mean, the guy gives you everything he's got, but for him to stay healthy and play like he does is very hard. I mean, the guy puts his nose down and just, bam, gets dirty with the best of them. So, it's hard to stay healthy. Play like Rising.
I will tell you, I have one favorite play today, and that's Nebraska getting the 7.5 at Minnesota.
Why do we like Nebraska, Damian?
I like the coach. I don't like Minnesota.
Yeah, you're not getting on the row your boat express with
No.
what's that Minnesota? PJ Fleck.
Yeah,
You're not getting on the boat with PJ Fleck.
I think Minnesota.
row
I
your
think
boat.
Minnesota was kind of a fraud last year.
Yeah.
Nebraska was in like every game last year.
Yeah,
You know,
they were.
They were in.
They lost every game by like 5 points or less.
Yeah, and you're giving me more than a touchdown when I think they've upgraded pretty much. You know, they actually have some talent.
Yeah.
Scott Frost did recruit very well in Nebraska, and they didn't really lose anybody on the transfer portal. So he has a lot of that talent is still at Lincoln. I think Nebraska's a very live dog in this game. I would very strongly consider betting them on the money line in this game. Like Nebraska's in every game. Minnesota's not going to run away from you. They're not very dynamic offensively. They're okay defensively. You know, I'll go ahead and take the shot getting more than a touchdown.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. You know, the road dog, getting on the road dog, getting some plus money. What's the line on Nebraska right now on the money line? Plus 245,
Plus 245.
Plus 245 on the Cornhuskers with Matt Rule coming into town. So nothing wrong with that. Minnesota's not world beaters by any stretch of the imagination, even though they're at home. So that would bring a lot of parlay tickets up to some 15, 20 to 1 shots, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's some value there. That's the one pick I really like tonight, is that one. So
Mizzou's only 27 points against South Dakota.
I know nothing about South Dakota.
I don't know anything about South Dakota either.
I can't.
That's the first time I looked at that line. I thought it would be 38.5.
I can't even begin to fathom. But if Mizzou's laying 27, I'd probably say take South Dakota in that game.
I don't know.
I mean, you're getting a Big 12 school. Usually you see a Big 12 school against nobody. You're going to see a line of 35, 38 points. Somebody might know something a little bit about South Dakota that I don't. So
let's see.
The line's not that as high as I thought. I'd probably lean to taking the points in that game, but I have to say play it.
Coyotes. That's their school name.
I will tell you.
South Dakota Coyotes.
I actually did put a little bit of money on Nebraska on the money line.
Okay.
So I will tell everybody that.
Okay.
I played Nebraska on the money line and Nebraska plus the points. So I doubled down on that.
Let's look at their last year. What South Dakota did.
Well, I mean, they're an FCS
school. Of course.
I mean, I don't know if they played any. I don't know if they played a
Kansas State beat them 34-0. The next week, Montana beat them. North Dakota State beat them. That's 3 losses.
Well, North Dakota State's always like one of the best teams in FCS.
Yeah. South Dakota State beat them 28-3.
South Dakota State was also very good last year in the FCS.
Illinois State beat them 12-10. They barely beat Southern Illinois by 3 points. Youngstown State beat them by 21. They beat Missouri State 20-13. Northern Iowa beat them 58-14.
Yeah, so obviously South Dakota wasn't very good last year.
Yeah, lots of L's.
But as you all know, I don't think Missouri's very good at all. So, but obviously this is a game they should win and win rather handily. But if you're a Missouri fan, you're looking forward to a 5-7 season.
Well, I'm going to go buy it down and take like Missouri minus 21, maybe if they'll give it to me. But I might take Mizzou minus 27 if not. But I'm going to take Mizzou. We're going to take a quick break. Dave's going to join us back here, and we'll be back in 2 minutes, guys.
I've got a golden ticket.
That's a winner!
We're back.
And we are back here at DraftKings at Casino Queen on this Thursday night,
What
August
up?
the 31st. It's usually football Saturday in America, but it's football Thursday in America tonight.
For us.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
For
kind of,
everybody, dang it.
what'd you put together for me tonight?
Uh,
John or Damien always puts a ticket in for me. We are the last 2 weeks. You cashed 2 weeks ago a 4 or 5-teamer, and Damien, you gave me a 3-teamer last week. It did look terrible. It looked awful going into the extra innings, right?
Yep.
That's all you got is yep.
Yep.
That's it.
All that matters is it
No one-word
That's all-
answers do not work
That's all
when
that
you're trying to do a
matters.
show.
Did it win?
Yeah.
It won. So
Well,
it looked great,
we talked earlier about how we put tickets in for David that win.
and we
We
can't
put
play 'em
tickets
for
in ourselves.
ourselves.
Hey, all I have to tell you is somebody's got to be that guy.
Well, you know, like I bet Nebraska tonight. I'm sure Minnesota will win by 1.
Yeah, we're putting some eggs in the basket with Nebraska tonight.
What do we got going on there? What do we need? Explain that.
Explain it?
Well, tell them what we got. What do we got here? Whose is this? We got tickets everywhere.
See what that one is.
Um,
This is not mine.
I know.
Is it
Mine.
Oh,
no,
okay.
it's
That's it.
it's
All right.
his.
Well, what do we got? What are we sweating?
Yeah. We got UCF. I talked about the Golden Knights.
Are they off and running?
UCF
They are
did
off and
score a
running.
touchdown first possession. So,
Who's winning?
Are we still 7-0?
nope, 14-0 now.
Yeah, let's go.
I've been stuffing
What
my
did
face.
I tell you guys?
These appetizers here are unbelievable.
Glad you like them, Dave.
$5 appetizers. Look
They
at this
are.
thing. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Some crab dip here. You take the chip is what you do.
It's nice to know we're getting a tutorial on how to eat crab
Well, I
dip.
mean, things could be
Yeah.
worse, right?
Hey, you take the chip. You got it? You put the other chip onto the side of it. And that's how you do it.
A
folks.
crab chip sandwich. Boy,
Crab chip sandwich.
what's his name? What's his name? The guy that travels around and not Bourdain, the other guy, Gus Ferrari. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's his assistant. Is it good? So look at a little kick tonight. Last week it didn't have that. It's got a real kick to it. The crab dip.
Mm.
But I had
It's a
the
good crab dip.
macaroni and cheese, bacon and Gouda.
Oh, those are good. Yeah.
Those are amazing. Yeah, that
Yes,
was my
those
dinner.
Yeah, you can't
Those
beat
are
them.
very good. $5 from 3 to 6 o'clock.
Yeah, from 3 to 6 o'clock, all the apps are $5. You can't beat it. Yeah, it's like that John Madden turkey game when he brought out the Tudurkin, the turkey leg,
Yeah.
the duck, Tudurkin.
All right. What were you guys? I'm sure you were talking college football. Bring me up to
Yes.
speed a little. Where were we at?
Well, we got this is what we got tonight.
What,
got
what were we
UCF.
talking about? Okay.
We talked about how they're going to beat the heck out of Kent State because Kent State brings no starters back on offense. We found out, and
What's a line in
Kent
that
State's
game? What's the line?
driving though.
35.5.
Yeah, I got it at 34 on the.
Yeah, you put in a 34 with me. What do we have? We had UConn plus 19. You're taking the points.
Yeah.
Yeah. When's that game
Absolutely.
start?
The 14's a real line. I moved it up.
Yeah.
6:30. So it's kicking off now.
Yep.
Yeah. Right on.
Yep.
Damien, have we already talked NFL yet, or are we still on
We have
college?
not.
Hold on.
NFL yet.
Is David eating fried food or is he trying to live past 60?
David's taking a break today. David had a very nice day, and this is the food that I can have here. Sorry, at the casino, they probably don't have broccoli and bean sprouts.
Broccoli and beans.
Well, my point being is, if you want to eat healthy, this is probably not the spot.
Yeah, be that as it may.
No, I'm just saying, I'm
Yeah.
responding to that. So
Yeah.
I'm hungry and I'm treating myself. And yeah, I don't even want to know how many calories are in this crab dip, but
Oh, man.
it's amazing.
Are we
Um,
still working out, by the way, every
Yeah,
week?
yeah,
Oh, you're
we're good.
still,
Yeah,
you're still
Yeah,
there?
so twice a week only though, 20 minutes. I am eating not fantastic lately.
Obviously.
Well, not obviously. I mean, this is probably the only maybe 2 days a week that I eat bad. I've increased that from 1, but I did get a text from Evan Elder today, UFC fighter Evan Elder, and he asked me how I was doing. I said I need more encouragement to go back to my eating habits. So we're going to work on that. But yes, I'm still working out twice a week at home with my Bowflex. So yes, the answer is yes. What's the over/under you put on me? Flaking out?
Week 3 of the NFL season.
Oh yeah, no, I'll cruise right into that. Yeah, you lose. You lose. Pay up.
I ain't lost yet.
Yeah. Taking me out for a steak dinner, right? Right here, DraftKings Casino Queen, $30.
We can do
Get
that.
a 20. Well, how big is that thing? 22-ounce T-bone.
Oh yeah,
I'm ready. That comes with broccoli. I asked.
T-Bone Express.
T-bone and broccoli.
Not allowed to have broccoli with steak.
Why not?
No point eating the steak if you're gonna have broccoli with it.
Well, what do you?
You gotta
Asparagus.
have baked potato and
I like asparagus.
I like
you
asparagus.
gotta have a
Asparagus I
baked
like.
potato, a
If it's
loaded baked
Well, it
potato.
has baked potato and broccoli.
No.
Ah,
Gotta
Kent
replace
State got
the
a
broccoli.
field goal.
So
y'all.
wait a second.
Dang.
Would you eat the broccoli with cheese
It's
on it?
early.
The only time I eat broccoli is if it's like broccoli and cheddar soup.
Okay. Well, I like all vegetables. John doesn't believe in vegetables.
Yes, I do. I just don't like cold vegetables, David.
Oh,
I'll eat cooked vegetables. I'll eat them all. Cooked vegetables. No, I don't eat ranch dressing neither. Don't like it. Never have.
ranch dressing.
No,
God.
terrible.
So with those Gouda bites, what do you use? Nothing?
Nothing.
How about blue cheese?
No, I don't eat blue cheese.
Blue cheese is the best.
Blue
Oh my
cheese. That's
God.
like something that even sounds bad.
I can't even stand the
cheese
smell of
that's
blue
blue.
cheese.
You guys suck.
I'm like blue cheese.
I'm in the
smells
middle of
awful.
two guys that don't know how to eat.
Cheese that's blue. Haggis some cheese. Hold on. Let me put some blue stuff
It's
on
mold.
it. Here you go.
Yes, it's molded cheese.
No, I don't
Yeah,
want
eat
no
that.
cheese
That
with blue
really
crap on it.
sounds good, don't it?
Bluegrass?
I like every,
Bluegrass cheese.
I like
Yeah,
I like everything cheese except mold.
Hey, you like Gouda cheese?
I like everything cheese.
I like you both.
except mold.
You're the cheese aficionados. Yeah. Me?
I'm a
Kent
big fan
State
of
got a
cheese.
field goal, y'all.
Okay, it's early. Right?
No, we don't want it though.
Yeah, it's early.
We don't want it though.
Yeah.
Wake Forest up 10-0. I did take Elon plus 31.5 against Wake for the Phoenix of Elon. They played Vanderbilt close last year. So we're going to roll the dice with them.
Wake Forest, good basketball program. I don't know
Yeah,
about
pretty
it.
good. They got some good basketball history. They've been awful the past 10 years or so. But
Well,
they got some good basketball history. Justin Gray and Chris Paul guard combos from Wake Forest.
UConn, a little bit good at basketball.
UConn's, they're a basketball school.
Yeah. What do we got here? The last one to kick off the fight or to finish
Under
up.
49.5 with 25-mile-an-hour winds. I like it. Utah and
Well,
Florida.
when we made the bet, you said 40 to 50 mile an hour winds.
Yeah, under. I'm on the under train. Took the under train.
Hey,
No, not Graham Mertz.
They won a miracle with a first round
I love the
quarterback
crowd.
last year.
The
Anthony
crowd
Richardson ain't
participation.
walking through that door, folks.
Russell, the crowd participation is here.
Yeah.
Yes, love the crowd participation.
Well, Gators, Anthony Richardson ain't walking through that door, Damian.
Nope.
He's in Indianapolis.
hey, what
Yeah.
happened to your bet last week? You said,
Remember I told you?
no, I'm talking Hawaii. You said
Yeah,
who was going to win this? That -7 in the second half. What am I
Yeah,
thinking?
remember I lost. I told you.
Did that
when I
lose?
saw- oh hell yeah, I lost.
Oh.
I told you when I saw you before the game started, I was going to lose that bet.
Well, then why would you make it?
Remember I told you when he
If
knows.
you know you're going to lose, why would you make
He
it?
knows. I
Weather
told
guy.
him with the weather, the cold front moved in 6 hours before.
Oh,
It was
so that's
so
why it
weather-
was only
hey,
7.
The
That's
weather
why it was
showed
only
up and
7.
said, got him.
the
Well,
game
hopefully
was
they get them tonight
the
in this
game
game.
was delayed by 2 hours.
Well, this game, the Utah game, wasn't that over under like 60 something?
It opened in May at 60 and a half.
In May.
It
in
did.
May. Okay.
But still,
all
you
right.
still don't get a line movement like that.
No, that's a
Not
lot.
16 points
Yeah.
from 60 to 44 and a half.
All
But it did open in May at 60 and a half, and it's moved all the way down to 44 and a half, especially with this weather tonight.
Check
It's
the
in
chat.
Salt Lake City.
UConn scored a touchdown to go ahead.
Oh, yeah, the
Oh,
Huskies.
wait a minute. They just called it back.
Oh, they called it back.
nope,
Damian's
now it,
playing with my emotions.
nope, they did score. It's
Oh, they
6-0.
did. Never mind. Here, I'll just pull it up.
Somebody
I
get
gotta-
it right.
I gotta get
The
some
guy just
action
broke a
going here.
31-yard touchdown
Uh,
run for UConn.
That's funny.
See if
Somebody
I can
get it right.
Stream this straight
Nope.
from the source here.
So anyway,
Again, we got it.
we
Bam,
got-
UConn.
we're 1
Pull
week
it up.
away. 1 week away from the NFL starting next week.
Yeah.
Next Thursday, you'll have the
I'm
Chiefs
I'm personally more
and the
excited about
Lions.
that than college.
Oh, I'm
football.
absolutely.
I'm never.
Yeah, we know. Yeah. So what do you got? What do you got on your plate? What are we looking at?
UConn just scored. I'm trying to pull it up so I can see it with my own two eyeballs.
I know. I'm talking about
South
NFL.
Dakota and Mizzou kicking. Hey, that line,
He's not gonna.
David, that line in South Dakota, Mizzou's. What do you think it is?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna have you guess.
Okay. What is it?
South Dakota. They're an
Oh yeah,
FCS
yeah. I got
school.
it. Okay, go ahead.
So they're not even in the bowl.
No, I get
thing.
it. What was the question?
What's the line?
Give me the two teams again.
Mizzou and South Dakota.
I don't know. Mizzou is got to be minus what 3 scores?
Mizzou minus 3 scores, at least.
Yeah. So 21.
27.
I was
I would
close
think
for
38 and a
guessing.
half.
Not bad for guessing.
Not
'Cause
bad for guessing.
I had no idea what you were talking about. I mean, I have an idea, but not.
Joe Fagnano with the scramble and score for
Oh, he's out.
UConn.
He's out.
Oh, wow, he is.
He's out.
Don't worry, they score on the next
Oh, they
play.
score on the next play. Yeah, I'm about 30 seconds, 60 seconds behind.
Well, they originally ruled that a touchdown, and then that's why I said,
Well, that's
so
good.
they called it back,
they
and
called
then
it
Joe
back, and,
Fagnano's about to punch it in the end zone again.
they run
Punch
it in.
kid.
All right. Let's go to the NFL.
Hold
Let's
on.
Get that. Oh, he wants to wait.
Ain't going to the
There,
NFL
they can't see
yet.
it.
Look at that kid. Bam! Punches it in for UConn.
They can't see it.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
why
they
you
know what happened.
Well, I already
UConn's
told
up
them.
7-0,
I
and
already
they're
told them
14-point dogs.
I know.
And I said,
He has
what
to see it for
happened.
himself.
I know. I had to see
Yeah.
it for myself, you know.
Yeah.
But I told him I told him what's going to happen, David. I said this ain't last year. 42-10. NC State beat them last year, 42-10. I said nope, not this year. Not this year. The Huskies are going to come to play tonight. I like it. The Fighting Jim Moras. You remember Jim Mora?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. The Huskies. I like it. So I took the points there.
We'll wait till he's done.
What else are we here? Georgia State, Rhode Island. That's a nobody game there. Yeah, that's where we're at here. Kent State getting driven on again. So UCF hopefully about to put it in the end zone, make it 21-3. We'll be looking at a good night. Good night, David. If UCF and UConn cover, that's what we need in that under on Florida, Utah. So that's what I need.
All right, we'll give an update in a little while.
Yeah.
First game is a week from tonight. NFL.
Yeah, that's a whole 7 days away.
Yeah, I
Chiefs and
understand.
We've got
Lions.
about 50 games on Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. Well, plenty of time to go broke before NFL starts.
Yes, there's plenty of time.
Yep.
Before
Who's playing next Thursday? I think I
Lions
know.
and Chiefs, your Detroit Lions. Remember?
My Detroit Lions.
Your Detroit Lions.
Plus one. Are they still plus 175 to win the division? I haven't made the bet yet.
I have not. I didn't look.
I
at
need to
that.
make that bet before we leave here
Pick
tonight.
them to beat what's the name? The Chiefs.
No.
What do you think what's that money line, Damien?
Oh, I'm sure Detroit's probably coming back plus 300.
Well, let's look it up.
They got. I will tell you that the Chiefs looks like they're going to be missing their.
Are you
best
singing,
defensive
Russell?
lineman.
What are you singing?
Looks like Chris Jones is holding out for Kansas City.
The Devil went down to Georgia. I like it. It's a classic. You don't like The Devil went down to Georgia, you can just get the hell out.
So
Here, why don't you just pull that in front of you?
It's for everybody, man.
No, I don't want any more. Nobody wants it.
Well, you don't know that.
I do know that. They already said they don't want any.
I don't eat seafood. I won't touch it.
Ladies,
So
get it together.
So I expect the Chiefs to probably still cover that game against Detroit.
What's
next
the spread?
Thursday.
Yeah, what's
6.5
6.5.
total.
And that's in Kansas City,
in
right?
Kansas City.
Of course it is. The NFL's not going to make them open
No.
up on the road.
No, well, the Super Bowl champion always opens.
I
at home. So 6.5 totals 53.5. I'm pretty confident the Chiefs are going to still put up a boatload of points in this game.
I'd like to see Patty Mahomes go play in Detroit on Thanksgiving. Schedule that one, NFL.
Well, the schedules are made out years and years in advance. So
Mm.
Kansas City will go to Detroit in 2027.
How do you know
that
that?
I can guarantee you,
How do you know
because
that?
that's next time they play.
Oh,
that
you already
division.
looked at that? Wow.
No, I just know it already off the top of my head.
That's crazy. How do you
But-
know that?
Well, I can tell you. Okay, I'm a Steelers fan. I can tell
Yeah.
you next year, Pittsburgh will play the AFC South.
Yeah, because they don't play them. Yeah.
Or,
It's a rotation.
I'm sorry. Next year Pittsburgh will play. I'm sorry. Next year Pittsburgh will play the NFC East, and they will play the AFC West next year.
Do you want to spend Breeders' Cup hanging out?
No,
No?
I get no enjoyment out of
All right.
horse racing or
He's
auto
not a
racing.
jockey.
How about just hanging out with some D-gens, betting football and horse racing?
Probably not. I'd probably be working anyway that day.
Okay, all right. All right.
Uh,
I will not be.
yeah,
That whole weekend, I will not be working.
I don't blame you.
I will be gambling full court press.
Have we looked at tomorrow, Damien? We got some Friday night lights.
There's only a couple of games, and neither one of them mean anything to me.
There's an interesting game. Miami, Ohio's going to play Miami and, the other Miami. Miami, Ohio's quarterback is, any idea, Damien? You will once I say it.
No.
Blaine Gabbert. You remember Blaine Gabbert?
I remember Blaine Gabbert.
His brother is the Miami, Ohio quarterback.
Okay.
And he's already trash talking that this week, saying they're going to go down to Miami and beat Miami.
Is Blaine Gabbert still in the NFL?
I don't know. But his brother's he's like an 8th-year senior at the Miami, Ohio Redhawks.
Is that even? Can you even do that?
No. He's been there
You
forever.
could be like a 6th-year senior because they still that 2020 season everybody got a free year.
Yeah, Brett Gabbert.
So, yeah, you can still do that there.
He's been there forever. They're 17-point favorites. The Hurricanes are tomorrow. Miami Hurricanes don't beat anybody by 17. I'm liking it. I'm going to take the points with the Redhawks. But with Miami, Ohio tomorrow. Michigan State's only 14-point favorites against Central Michigan tomorrow.
Well, the Chippewas are actually supposed to be fairly decent.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't studied the MAC too closely, but I believe Central Michigan went 8-5 last year.
Michigan State's falling apart.
And
they're losing confidence in their coach. Their recruiting class was terrible. Louisville playing Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech was awful last year to start the season. They got better the last few games because they fired their coach. They played better under the new coach.
Louisville's replacing their quarterback.
Yep. Malik Cunningham's gone.
Yeah.
Didn't he play good in the preseason game too, I thought?
He really didn't play. They were using him more as a wide receiver, and New England actually re-signed him to their practice squad.
Oh, okay.
But he's just not a quarterback. I mean, he's fast. He's got
right. He's not an
ability.
NFL quarterback.
He's not an NFL quarterback.
No, he's a good college quarterback though.
Yeah,
and make some plays. Make some things happen at the collegiate level. We have a get even worse game tomorrow.
My shoulder is going to be beat up by the time the end of this show. He keeps punching my shoulder.
I'm glad I'm on this.
Stanford.
Has he been doing that over these weeks?
He's trying.
Stanford, Hawaii, David. Tomorrow. Hawaii's our annual get even worse game of the night. Yeah, 10 p.m.
I used to like watching Hawaii.
Okay.
They're not as much fun to watch anymore. They used to put up a shitload of points.
Yeah, they don't anymore though.
No.
Yeah, but they're still Hawaii. It's the midnight game. That's why it's so fun. It is the midnight game express, so we can either get even or get even worse. Of course, that's why it's fun, dude. And then Deion Sanders opening up Saturday morning at 11 o'clock against TCU. 20.5-point favorites, TCU is.
I know TCU's returning a lot. I would tend.
They're not returning Garrett Riley.
They're not.
He's in Death Valley.
But I would tend to think TCU probably covers that game. And I'm telling you.
Yeah, you think so? 20.5's a lot.
I know. I'm telling you, I know right now the public is on Colorado in a huge way. Astronomically huge. Colorado's getting like 82% of the bets. And the line's not coming down, which should tell you the smart people are betting TCU big.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting line all year because so much public money is going to be on Colorado no matter what, just because of Deion. So there may be value.
It's a huge. I mean, it's
63.5 total, Damien.
That's a big number.
63.5. So we'll find out a lot about TCU without Garrett Riley on Saturday. So that'll be fun. East Carolina, the Pirates of East Carolina going to Michigan. 36-point favorites. I'm going to be taking the Pirates. 36 points. East Carolina almost beat NC State last year to open the year. I'm not laying 36 points against East Carolina. Not a shot.
I believe Michigan probably will come out
They'll win the game.
wanting
No, I
to
don't think
make
they're
a
going to win
s-
by 36 and a
I think
half.
they're going to want to make a statement, especially since Harbaugh is suspended for the game.
Hmm.
He suspended the first 3 games.
Mhm.
I think they're going to want to make. NC State scored, by the way, to tie it at 7.
Yep. The Wolfpack tie it up. We got 20 and a half on a ticket.
Yeah.
Real line's 14 and a half.
I just
I think we got 20.
I
We do.
fully
Real line's
expect
14 and a half.
Yeah, but you said 20 and a half.
20. Yeah.
I fully expect Michigan to just lay the wood to East Carolina.
That hook we have learned
Yeah, but it pushes.
is huge.
It's not in a
I know,
parlay.
but I'm talking about the hook in general.
I don't know.
Yeah. Dealt with
It
the
can be
hook
brutal.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Hook today was almost brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go right now, though. And
We're still sitting at 14-3. That game?
Kent
Mizzou's
State's
going to
driving.
suck me in tonight, y'all.
What's that?
The Missouri Tigers are going to suck me in tonight.
What time?
7 o'clock.
That game's
kickoff.
get ready to kick off.
And it's minus 27. You gonna lay the 27, or you gonna move the line?
I can't. I'm not going to move it. Just peanut 2 points.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all-
I got it.
Not going to do it.
All right, not gonna do it.
All right. We got it in.
You did a parlay.
Missouri minus 27. No. Yeah.
No parlay.
Nah.
All right. What time is it?
7
minutes to
7,
kick off?
yeah.
Yep. 7
Alright,
minutes
I like
to
it.
kick off.
We're not
Both-
gonna go the full 2 hours tonight. We're going to about 7:20 this evening, in honor of a little college football. Get home in time to watch the second half. The Mizzou game.
Yeah.
I don't think Mizzou's on TV tonight.
No. Well, then
God.
I still want to get home. How's that?
Oh, I don't blame you.
They're not on TV. I thought all the games were broadcast.
I don't think Mizzou's on TV
No?
tonight.
All right.
They're playing nobody.
UCF.
They got to be on some station.
I don't know. Look it up.
Oh, I will look it up.
UCF did not score when they were in Kent State territory. What are they doing? It's 14-3 with 12 minutes in the second quarter. What are we doing? What are we doing, Golden Knights? All my hopes and prayers. I need this game. Need this UCF minus 34 and a half.
Need all the games.
Mizzou is on the SEC network.
It
by the
doesn't
way.
stop.
They're on the SEC.
This was my
network.
favorite pick tonight. Was this UCF game?
Florida, Utah
Okay.
will be on ESPN. Nebraska, Minnesota will be on Fox.
Yeah, I did see
So-
that Mizzou was on SEC Network.
So Mizzou is on the
I did
SEC
see that.
network.
What am I looking up? If Mizzou on TV tonight?
It's SEC
They are,
Network.
just
We just said
SEC
that about
Network.
20 seconds
Well, I'm
ago.
not listening to you.
Apparently.
How can that be? How can you not listen
I-
to them?
Yeah.
Wakes up 17-0
All right.
already.
Well, I don't know why I turned the computer on. You asked me to look it up, and then you already did. I'm a little slow. Comes with old age. You get a little slower. Take your time with things.
Settle
Right?
down.
Yeah, easy,
Settle down.
nice, even pace. With a steady pace wins the race.
Yeah, it's like when the horse gets out the gate too fast, and they're going too fast, way too fast. Got to slow them down.
Yeah.
Well,
It's early.
we'll get off college here for a second. Week 1 of the NFL, there's been some pretty significant line moves. For example, Washington is now favored by a full 7 against Arizona. Arizona released the guy everybody assumed would be their starting quarterback. Now we don't know if it's going to be Josh Dobbs, who was traded 3 days ago from Cleveland, if he'll be the starting quarterback for Arizona, or if Clayton Tune, who was the rookie quarterback from Houston, will be the starting quarterback for Arizona.
Yeah,
So
Arizona's tanking for Caleb Williams.
if you remember, I said before the season there were 3 teams that could do that, and they were one of them. There's some serious speculation that if they get off to a bad enough start, you may not even see Kyler Murray this year. They may just see what they can get for him in the offseason after just dumping him. Remember, they also have Houston's first-round pick next year, so they very likely will have 2 top 10 picks.
I don't know if they're going to be able to get much for Kyler Murray. They might get some of this crab dip in a bag of potato chips. Other than that, I don't know what they're going to get.
If you remember,
He's
I
in
bet
bad shape.
another line has moved, and this one's moved against me. You remember, I bet Indianapolis getting 4 week 1 against Jacksonville. It's now up to 5. With Jonathan Taylor deciding he's got menstrual cramps or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I will tell you that's a really bad situation. I will not be. I have I did 2 fantasy football drafts last week. I got 2 more in the next week. I am not touching Jonathan Taylor in any fantasy league unless he gets maybe to round 10, which he won't because somebody will take him. Figure he's coming back after week 4. I don't see him coming back to Indianapolis. I think he's throwing a fit. Supposedly his ankle's allegedly hurt again, which we had the surgery on it last, during the season last year, 8-9 months ago, he had the surgery on it. And supposedly it's still bothering him, but I think it's just more that he can't get the money he wants. So if you remember, supposedly he had a knee injury. He sent that out on a tweet. And then when the Colts were threatening to not pay him because he got injured in a way that had nothing to do with football, then all of a sudden it was his ankle again.
Yep.
He just does. I'm just going to flat say he's a bitch. He doesn't want to play. He wants the contract. He doesn't want to play. You signed the rookie contract. You got the big signing bonus when you signed the rookie contract. Yeah, you're only getting $3 million or $2 million or whatever it is this year. You signed your name on the contract. You play it out. You got paid. And now you don't know, if somebody's going to trade, here he is, he's wanting to get traded. Obviously, he felt good enough to want to be traded that he could have gone somewhere and maybe played if he got traded. He didn't do that. When they couldn't get the trade for him, all of a sudden his ankle was bothering him again and he can't play and he's on the physically unable to perform list, which means he can't play the first 4 weeks. So he's completely useless until week 5.
Yep.
So now you're the Colts, so you're like, he has virtually no trade value because teams know he's not going to want to play for him unless he gets the contract that he wants. So, if you're the Colts, why would you want to give him a contract if he's not coming back to play? Yeah, he's put himself in a horrible situation. He really hurt the team by doing this. The Colts GM, I'll give credit. He's at least trying to toe the line about, what a great guy Jonathan Taylor is when he thinks he's a bitch behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's just a really bad spot. So I'm not touching Jonathan Taylor in any fantasy draft.
No.
And that line, I said, that line's jumped to 5. It kind of gone against what I wanted.
Any fantasy sleepers we can look out for, you think?
Well, it depends on for me to give you a fantasy sleeper, it depends on how the league is. Is it a point per reception league? Is it a half a point per reception league? You get bonus points for certain yardage. It's hard for me to, in a traditional fantasy league, Anthony Richardson, and everybody's on him. Anthony Richardson's going to be huge because he's going to run for 60, 70 yards a game. I'd probably say go play his over on his rushing yards for the season. They're going to run design plays. He's going to be the goal line back. He's a big guy. He's bigger than Jalen Hurts. He will take all the short yardage touchdowns for the Colts. You probably don't want a Colts running back and expect him to get short yardage touchdowns. Kind of like Buffalo, where Josh Allen or even Philadelphia. I will tell you, everybody's in love with DeAndre Swift. Jalen Hurts, I believe, ran for 15 or 16 touchdowns last year. Kenneth Gainwell had 9. And nobody talks about him. DeAndre Swift, he may be between the 20s back. I don't think you'll see him on the goal line. I think in a, if you're not in a PPR league, if you're just in a normal league yardage, no point per reception, somebody like Nick Chubb is going to be very valuable. I believe David Montgomery would be more valuable than Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit, for example, if you're not in a PPR league. Now, if you're in a PPR league, I'd rather have Jahmyr Gibbs because he's going to be in there at all times. you know, I actually think Sam Howell for Washington could be a little bit of a sleeper as far as fantasy quarterback go. He could be somebody that comes out of nowhere. Kenny Pickett in
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
everybody's on that Sam Howell train.
Kenny
yeah, we'll
Pickett
see.
in Pittsburgh. Sam Howell has, Jahan Dotson's a stud. I love him at wide receiver.
What are they going to? What is Washington going to do with Antonio Gibson?
I think Antonio Gibson's a sleeper fantasy wise in a point per reception league.
Yeah,
I want Antonio Gibson. In a regular league, I want Brian Robinson. If you're not point per reception, if you're giving me the choice, I think those two running back. Washington's got a very good offensive line. Remember, I mean, they gave Philadelphia fits, who has a great defensive line last year, both games. Washington was able to run the football, and Robinson's fully recovered from getting shot in the ass last year.
Yeah.
So I mean, and those are the only.
I know, right?
Those are the only two running backs Washington really has. So there's enough for both of them to play. They can split Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson probably be split out wide early in the season. Terry McLaurin probably is going to miss the first week or two. I think you may see Antonio Gibson in the slot with Brian Robinson, at running back, quite a bit beginning of the season.
What about Lamar Jackson?
And by the way, Washington plays Arizona week 1. So if you're in a survivor pool, there's your survivor pick for the week for week 1.
Yeah, you can get Washington pretty safely home.
Just use Washington.
Yeah.
Get them out of the way. I bet Washington over their season total, by the way.
Are you in a survivor?
I am not. I did not.
If anybody knows of a survivor, let me know. I kind of want to get in on one. Lamar Jackson over rushing yards over rushing yards for the year.
I know one guy who's. I know.
All right.
I know one guy who's very, very much in love with that over.
740? He's 740?
And he's historically very good. And he loves the Lamar Jackson over.
I think it's 743.
Yeah, it's something
close
like
to
749 and a half or something like that.
Right.
So and
I was presented with that a couple months ago.
My guy Sean, he really loves the over.
That's who told me.
And he's historically very good on these. I do not like the over.
Yeah, generally speaking, we talked about this earlier. Like, if you bet all the running backs $100 on prop bets for the year, now he's a quarterback, but if you just take the running backs and bet the under for total prop bet under.
But Lamar Jackson's a quarterback.
No, I know. I'm just saying in general.
Lamar Jackson, he was right on that number last year and missed 5 games.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
So I mean,
that's nuts.
I know Baltimore wants to. They've changed their offensive scheme and their offensive system. They want to throw the football more. They got Odell Beckham. I'm telling you right now, you will not see Odell Beckham on any of my fantasy teams either. Zay Flowers
he still plays.
Yeah, Zay Flowers is was their first round pick. I like him.
But Baltimore's not throwing the ball, right?
I like Rashad Bateman even more than I like Zay Flowers.
But Baltimore not throwing the ball enough.
I don't think Lamar Jackson is an NFL caliber starting quarterback. He's great at he's great at throwing to the tight end. He's great at throwing the short underneath routes. That he can do. If he has to throw anything with coverage down the field, he can't. He doesn't do it well. He just doesn't. He can't throw a touch pass to the outside. There's a reason why certain teams give Baltimore fits, because they don't let Lamar Jackson beat them running the football. They make Lamar Jackson beat him throwing the football. Lamar Jackson just historically can't do it. So, but if he gets outside the pocket, he's a big play waiting to happen. But like I said, these running quarterbacks, this is Lamar Jackson's. It's either his 5th or 6th season. I'm drawing a blank on which one. And I don't, Michael Vick basically stopped running.
Yeah.
And Lamar Jackson basically was Michael Vick. And you're just see these quarterbacks that are that run as much as he has, they hit the wall at some point. They lose their elusiveness. They lose their speed. I don't want any part of Lamar Jackson this year as far as that. And I know a lot of, he's like the number 4 quarterback in fantasy rankings right now. He's going to be the number 4 quarterback. I won't be touching Lamar Jackson on a fantasy team. Now, I could be wrong about Lamar Jackson, and if I am, he can single-handedly win you a fantasy league. He has that type of ability. And if he passes the ball a little better than I think he will, and he still has another year left where
and he can stay healthy.
and he still has a year left where he's elusive as all heck, he can win you a fantasy league. I'm gonna let somebody else gamble on that. I will stay with Justin Herbert. I would rather have Justin Fields
Wow.
Than Lamar?
than Lamar.
Why?
I would
Wow.
rather have Justin Fields.
Why?
Why?
I believe Fields is a better runner. He's a bigger guy.
I don't
And
know. I don't know if I like
Chicago.
that.
Chicago's significantly upgraded their offensive line.
Got receivers.
They
got some
actually,
receivers.
they actually have a couple of receivers he can actually throw to now.
Speaking of
I
receiver,
believe Fields is actually a better passer of the football than Lamar Jackson.
well,
That I can go for. I don't know about better rusher.
So, well, I mean, Justin Fields ran for
no, I
1,000
understand.
yards last year.
Yeah.
Well,
like you said, Lamar was hurt
and,
5
and,
games.
And the other thing also is Chicago's schedule is a lot more friendly for quarterbacks than Baltimore. Baltimore's got to play Pittsburgh twice. They got to play Cleveland, which significantly upgraded their defensive line twice. They got to play Cincinnati. Very good. They were very good at containing Lamar Jackson last year when they played. Baltimore's schedule is a lot more difficult than Chicago's. So I would say I'd rather have Fields. I'd rather have Burrow. I'd rather have Herbert.
Can't read
I'd rather have Lawrence. By the way, I think Lawrence is the end of. I think there's 8 elite fantasy quarterbacks. I think Lawrence is the 8th one. If you get past Trevor Lawrence, I wouldn't draft a quarterback for a long time. Tua's got a shot. I just don't trust Tua to stay healthy. I may take a shot on him in a 2-quarterback league. Like one league I drafted the other last week. I drafted Justin Herbert, and then I got Tua as my backup, and I'm delighted as heck with that. But I don't trust. I'm very terrified of Tua, which is why I love Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle as wide receivers.
Speaking of wide receiver, my sleeper of the year in fantasy, and I mean sleeper, Damien. Wide receiver, Kansas City Chiefs.
UCF just scored,
Anybody?
by the way. Good news, 21-3.
David?
Huh? Do I have to guess?
Yeah, Kansas City wide receiver, sleeper,
For
Justin Ross.
Oh, no, I would have never guessed him.
Justin Ross,
Yeah.
Damien.
Yeah, I would have never guessed him.
He's coming. He will be on some leagues about week 6. He's going to be Patrick Mahomes' top receiver,
Wow, that's
Justin Ross.
Florida,
They are thin, David. Sky Moore.
Florida goes
Sky
Florida
Moore.
goes
You know?
3 and out in their
Yeah.
first series.
So Florida goes 3 and out. Okay. The Golden Knights punch it in 21-3 with 8 minutes to go to second quarter. Let's go.
Like he always hears me right after I say
I know,
it.
right? It says I don't listen.
No, I heard him. I was just in the middle of making my Justin Ross prediction. Elon 17-0 down to Wake. I got 31.5 though. We'll hold on there. 7-7 NC State, UConn 7-7. Everything else just kicked off. Arkansas Pine Bluff with an early score against Tulsa. Arkansas Pine Bluff was one of the worst teams in America in the FCS. They were awful. But early score against the Golden Hurricane of Tulsa. But yeah, everything else is early. Florida went 3 and out. Utah 6-0 with a touchdown. The Utes with a touchdown. What happened here? Let's see.
Well, they must have scored on the first play.
Yeah, did they run the kickback? I got to pull it up.
No. Florida punted and then Utah got tackled, and then I haven't seen an update on my.
Pull it up right here and see.
But
There it
San
is.
Francisco, that line's in the NFL, back of the NFL. San Francisco, that line opened at 3.5. It's now down to 2.5. I told you there would be some money coming.
Salt Lake City going crazy with a 7-0 lead.
Yep, and
The Utes taking it to the house. 7-0.
and Cam Rising is not
Cam Rising in street
playing. He
clothes.
is in street
Well,
clothes in that
Money
game.
Parks with a 70-yard touchdown reception.
I'm gonna have a bruise.
Money Parks, David. That's up for name of the year, maybe. That's up for name of the
My
year.
arm hurt him.
Did you hear me?
No, huh? No,
Money Parks.
I heard it.
That might
I
be
heard
up for name of the year.
So I'm gonna have him hit me as much as he wants for the 2 hours, and the last one of the night's gonna come for me.
No. Mine's out of excitement, you know.
Oh,
7-0.
so will mine be. Mine will be also.
Yes, it will.
Dave,
Yes, sir.
that name might be up for name of the year.
Okay.
Money Parks.
Money
What a
Parks.
name.
Yeah, money maker.
I'm going to name my kid.
How perfect was
Money.
that? Money maker.
You know, can you imagine that conversation?
Yeah.
Money Parks getting loose with a 70-yard bomb. Utah up 7-0. They're saying pack it in and go back to Gainesville now, Gators.
No,
You're done.
bad tackling in that. There.
You are gone, Gators. So yeah, 7-0 early. Bomb there by the Utes. I got a good feeling about my ticket, David. I need this Elon game to hold on though.
What is it?
The
Is
one I put together.
I know. What is it? What's Elon at?
31.5. I had 17-0 about halftime. Oh, Elon's in scoring territory. If we can get a touchdown before the half, I'll feel real good about it. We need a touchdown right before the half.
All right. We got 7 minutes left, guys. What else we need to cover before we get out of here?
My ticket here, Elon 31.5, UCF minus 34.5, UConn plus 20. Plus 20 is a lock. Take it to the house.
What's the score?
Utah, Florida under 49.5. I need the Utes to calm down. The way that first drive went, they might get 40 by
That
themselves.
wasn't a drive. That was a play.
Yeah, well, you know, yeah. That's it. Let's bring it home. Just a little 4-pick, David. And then we got one more ticket. We got UCF minus 34, UConn plus 19, the under on Florida, and then so it's basically 3 of the other 4 picks. And then I put the under 47.5 on Nebraska, Minnesota. 47.5.
Minnesota punted on their first possession and down the
That's
ball.
what we like to hear for the under guys.
They down the ball on the 1-yard line in Nebraska.
That's
So-
what we like to hear.
Yeah, that's good.
Nebraska's got 99 yards to go.
Mizzou just kicked off, didn't they?
They're 5 minutes in. It's scoreless. Mizzou's driving.
Okay. 27. Cover 27 against the Coyotes of South Dakota.
They're around the 23-yard line of South Dakota right now.
Yeah.
So no, I another couple lines that moved. Carolina, Atlanta is now up to 3.5 against Carolina. You remember, I bet that one when it came out at 2, and now it's 3.5. So I said, there's been some.
Answer David Sanders' question.
Oh,
John, that's for you.
let's look here. What do we
That one
got
was
here?
for you.
It went away. The
Elon.
Elon. No, David wants to know if since I took Elon, do we have any shares in Tesla? That's a pretty good joke. I like it.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Do you? Russell
Yeah.
has Tesla shares.
So we do here. We got a little bit of Tesla shares.
So what?
And we're on Elon. The Elon Phoenix, though, not the Elon Musk. So we're on the
I don't
Phoenix of
like the
Elon.
new Twitter sign. I don't like on Twitter. This
Good
month?
shot of moly.
Just this month?
No,
Oh.
in the lifetime of it.
That's
David.
nice. That's still a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well-
How long did it take you to get that?
Oh, I got it when I was deployed to Iraq.
2000.
Okay.
Wow, they had Tesla shares in 2005,
They were cheap then.
and this guy got on it. Jeez.
2005,
What are we doing wrong?
Not picking Tesla stock in 2005.
You're
Jeez.
picking
stock. Now they're like 500 bucks.
you're picking UCF stock.
I'm on UCF stock tonight. I got University of Central Florida stock tonight. Hey, it's 21-3. We're about to punch it in before the half to make it 28-3.
Mizzou just scored.
All
Oh, Mizzou scored with the early one, 7-0. We need to score. cover 27. I like it.
I don't even. I love some of your energy. I love
Hey,
it.
it's going to be a fun weekend, David. It's
Hey,
going to be a fun.
He will be like this
weekend.
from start to finish the entire season, folks.
I wonder how much money he's going to put on Clemson this week against.
No, he
Duke.
doesn't
I
really.
don't know.
He doesn't really
Well,
bet those
if
games.
I do, I bet the spread. But it's been so hard to bet them the last couple of years because of DJ. He couldn't even touch him because of
I
dang
have a
DJ.
feeling you should probably be on Duke this
But
week.
he doesn't need to be betting that game. He's wound up. He's tuned up. He'll be Monday night. He'll be tuned
If
up.
I like it, I'll bet it. But I hadn't liked the spreads lately, David.
A little news for all of you, by the way. Joe Burrow did practice for the first time today since he injured his calf,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
at the end of July. So Joe Burrow is back and practicing.
Is he going to play week 1?
It looks like it. Some people have been speculating that he wants his contract extension and that he was not going to play until the contract extension.
I never have liked that Joe Burrow.
But I don't think Burrow is going to do that.
Never have
But
liked
I
him.
know. I will tell you.
I don't know why. He's incredible.
Did
No, I
speculate
never
that.
have liked him. His little arrogant little, we should have beat him. Nolan Turner dropped an interception in the championship game. Dang thing was 31-26, and we dropped an interception, and it was ball game over after
That's
that.
you. That's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both yours.
They're not mine.
Yeah, they are.
No,
But they dropped an interception.
I didn't make this bet.
Well, just figure it out. We're talking about Joe Burrow and how much I can't stand him, really.
That's
So,
yours.
That Clemson LSU game was a lot closer than people think. A lot closer than the final score.
All right,
You know?
let's get out of here. Russell, thanks
Hey,
for
where
coming
we
back. We're out.
Nice to have you back.
Which time?
Yeah, it's
Wrap it.
7:18.
Yeah, we're wrapping up. We got to get out of here.
All right.
Well,
We're wrapping up early tonight.
yep.
Russell's got to
hey,
go.
Sweat out the UCF gods for me, folks. We need to cover 34.5. And Wake Forest just scored. It's 24-0 now. That's not good.
That's not
We need to
good.
cover 31.5 there. We're not in great shape. We're in
Nebraska.
great shape everywhere else.
Nebraska's driven from the 1 to the 32. So hopefully I can get Nebraska in. I actually also bet Nebraska to score first in that game. So I have three bets on that game. I have Nebraska to score first, which I got at plus 160. I bet Nebraska on the money line, which I got at plus 245. And then I bet Nebraska plus the 7.5.
And hey,
So-
Riffy, if you're watching, take the Red Hawks tomorrow. Take the Miami, Ohio.
But those were my plays today, and the under in the Utah game. So those were my 4 plays today. So
All right.
wish me luck.
Are we good?
Yep.
All right, Russell. Thank you for joining us. We love having you
Finally
back.
got Russell back.
Yeah, Russell back's important.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yep.
David playing producer is no good for show.
No good
Yeah,
for sure.
no good. Okay, Clemson, take us out.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, Damian. I appreciate it, buddy. And for David, I'm Clemson John, and we will see you guys next Thursday.
Domination.
We're waiting. We're going to do 590 anymore. Yeah. We're in waiting, hoping to get a break.